will be discussing it just a smidgen. But today's video and those moving forward that I'm going to be posting on Sunday is going to be Testimony Sundays, Confession of a Gardener. So today's verse is, well, let me back up a little second. So God came to me and he told me that I needed to document my journey with him. I did recently get closer to God, and I'm renewing my relationship with him. I've always believed in God. I've always been a Christian. However, I was not going to church, and I was not reading the Bible. I wasn't studying the word. I was praying, but I wasn't like down on my knees praying, like deep prayers. If you hear noise in the background, I'm sorry. We're on confinement. We are on quarantine. I mean, I got to do what I got to do. Okay. So basically what I'm going to be doing is using a verse that, has touched me and that I've felt myself struggling with throughout the week. And then I will share it with you all on Sunday. Today's verse is going to be coming from 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 10 through 12. And I'll go ahead and read it, but I will pop it along the screen so y'all can follow along with me. And in this matter, I give my judgment. This benefits you, who a year ago started not only to complete this work, but also desired to do it, so that your readiness in desiring it may have been matched by completing it out of what you have. For the readiness is there. It is acceptable according to what a person has, not according to what he does not have. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and give you a second to reflect upon that so that you can, kind of translate and put it in your own words. Okay, so now that we've taken a minute, I'm going to come back and I'll let you know what it means to me. So basically it's saying finish whatever you're starting by any means necessary, whether you may not have enough money at that time to finish it, whether, life gets you caught up to finish it. Whatever you're starting, go ahead and finish it. Make sure that you're putting your all into what you've prayed about doing. So I have recently started my gardening journey, as you all know. So my gardening journey began in March, and I did not start taking it serious until around May. In May, I had what you call an awakening. I felt like God spoke to me and God came to me and told me, basically, get your life together. I see you going down a path, and the path is not going to be nice. So he shared some words with me and he spoke to me. And I want to say he spoke to me through my auntie Shirley. That's whose voice I heard, and that's whose voice was telling me things that I needed to change, things that I needed to work on, and how my life could be if I choose, to follow the right path and choose to have God back in my life. So that's when, that's when he gave me gardening. So I had just planted some corn, and I will tell you a story about that. So the corn, this would have been my second time planting this corn. I had soaked the seeds the first time and then planted them. The second time I was like, okay, my seeds did not germinate, so let me just try again. And I bought a new packet of corn. This time I did not soak the seeds for 12 to 16 hours like they say, then covered. I did not do any of that. I just plopped the seeds, watered them and waited. During that night, God told me, the corn that you are growing, it's not going to sprout. It's not going to germinate. The next morning, basically, almost all my corn was up, and I will insert a picture. I think I have one about the corn. So that's how I knew. I was like, okay, this is God. I was like, oh my God, wow. I had to call my friend to, clarify, ask her, girl, what's going on? And, tell her the whole story of what had happened. Whatever, of what happened. So I'm saying that to say, with gardening, I've experienced, struggles with it. I've experienced, bug infestation with my first raised garden bed. I planted I want to say 48, and my mom helped me plant them, 48 plants that did not germinate. I don't know what we did wrong, but none of them things popped up. Country. So none of the plants popped up. at all, but that didn't deter me. Like, I still was interested, and with gardening, like, I've been researching it. I've been reading like every day. I've been, watching YouTube videos faithfully. I've been on Pinterest. Like, I've been doing my research with gardening. Since God has told me this is what I want you to do, you're gonna make a career out of this, things down the line. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just, following God's path of what he wants me to do. So I'm not starting. And, I've had visions of what I wanted to do, and God saying, okay, you have your parents' yard, and then my dad saying he didn't want me to use the yard, and then nothing has gotten in my way of what I have planned and what I'm going to do. So right now I'm going to make a video about fall seeds. I don't know where I'm going to plant these seeds at yet, but guess what? I'm not stopping, okay? Don't stop in whatever you want to do in life. I prayed about one of my kids to have a relationship with God too, but a lot of times we ask God to give us stuff, but we don't do the work for it to happen. Like, I'm praying about my kids having a relationship with God, but for my kids to have a relationship with God, I have to learn God to, teach them God. I have to learn the word, and I have to start doing activities with him. I can't just pray about something that I'm not putting in the work to do. So basically, if you feel as though you're struggling with anything in life and you've been starting a lot of things and not finishing them, pray about it and just make sure that you're committing yourself to finishing what you've asked God to give you. There's a lot of stuff that I've asked God to give me that I did not pray about. I've asked, I'm not going to necessarily, I've asked him to give it to me. I've wanted to do it. There's a difference between wanting and needing and praying about things. So I've wanted to start like party planning business. I've wanted to start an Etsy company. I've wanted to start an organizational company. But again, all those things I was trying to do without having God behind me, like without him having my back, without praying for it. So with this gardening, it's different because it's not hard. It's not like I don't even know where to start. It's like, okay, I need to get this done. Let me pray about it. Like, and I wasn't going to share this, but I guess I do need to share it. So I had all these plans. My mom had been out of town, in Louisiana for a month. The day she got back, my daughter had a fever, and we took her to the pediatrician, and we found out she had COVID. And I'm just like, this couldn't have come at the worst time. Like, right when my mom gets back, and I'm saying, okay, she's back, let me give these kids to her for a weekend. I need a break. Right when, like, I'm about to say, okay, my mom's back, let me talk to her about, if I can use the yard, even though my dad said I couldn't. Let me just, try to finesse her, try to get her on board. And this happened. I got my results back Friday, and I tested positive for it as well. So that's another thing that I've been, kind of worried about. And like, I'm just like, oh, dang, I just started my YouTube channel. How am I going to get this done? But again, you just have to pray about it and, just pray about it and give it to God. I've asked God about, bringing my family closer together so that there's not as much fighting and tension amongst our household. And again, that's something that I've started to work on, but again, I have to finish it. So it's just about making sure whatever you've asked God to help you with, finish it. Even if you have to start and stop a whole bunch of times, as long as you keep moving forward, you're going to finish it, and the outcome is going to be so fulfilling. So that was a lot. So I say this to say, I hope you all go on this journey with me. I would love to hear your voices. We'll read your verses down below that have helped you up throughout the week, so that we can share. I hope that I have guests coming in, soon after I get over this COVID. This is not going to beat us. And I didn't want to share. I basically didn't want to share because I didn't want to glorify it and make it seem like, COVID is not as serious as other people have it. we've only had it for a few days, but we're doing good, and I'm going to keep praying that we continue to do good. And that's one of the reasons why I did not share with a lot of people that we're going through this, because again, I didn't want to take away from other people who have or will have serious complications with it, for other people to feel like they don't have to wear their mask, they don't have to quarantine. Please quarantine, please wear your mask, because again, we got it. We were not being irresponsible. We were quarantining, we were wearing our masks. This thing is real. So just be safe, and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel below. I would love for you all to go on my spiritual journey with me, my gardening journey with me, and I hope that you are along for the way. Thank you.